Are you struggling to get good organic traffic despite working so hard on your website? Let's check this video out. Hello friends, this is Mahajan. Let's check the top mistakes you should avoid to have powerful SEO. Number 1. Poor website loading speed and performance. Now, speed is not a ranking signal, it is a ranking factor. And now you don't just need a good website, good server to load your website fast. You need an overall experience of the website to meet the Google standards. Ideally, your whole website should load with the all the elements of your web page in around 2 seconds. There Hello friends, this is Mahajan. Let's check the top mistakes you should avoid to have powerful SEO. Number 1. Poor website loading speed and performance. Now, speed is not a ranking signal, it is a ranking factor. And now you don't just need a good website, good server to load your website fast. You need an overall experience of the website to meet the Google standards. Ideally, your whole website should load with the all the elements of your web page in around 2 seconds. There are 4 fundamental parameters which Google measures. One is LCF, largest contentful paint. Second is first contentful paint. Third is speed index. Fourth is time to be interactive. Now, all these parameters are little technical to explain in this video, but what overall Google measure is how fast is your server, how fast your first elements starts loading on your website, and how much time does it take to be actually responsive for any user to maybe use your website. So we have to ensure that our website is meeting those parameters. If we are not able to provide that awesome speed, we are not going to rank on the lot of search queries which you will want, despite having so many backlinks or a good amount of quality content. So the website speed and performance is the utmost important parameter, and we should work very hard to meet those. Second is mobile responsiveness. Now, when I say mobile responsiveness, it essentially means that all the elements of your web page should be easily navigatable in your mobile phone, mobile device, and not just a single device, but it should be compatible with all the smartphones we are using, all the tablets, and majority of all any kind of handheld devices in which your target user is likely to use. Traditionally, we generally try to check on multiple devices, be it Mac devices, Android devices, Android top end smartphones and lower end smartphones. So you have to ensure that all your images, all your blocks are quite easily be navigatable in your phone. User is not thinking like it is a desktop version kind of a thing. So the overall experience when a user browses your website, browses your page in your device, has to be very easy, and it should be a very juicy kind of a flow. That is the second most important factor. You can use the link mentioned below to check whether your page is 100% mobile responsive or not. Sometimes developers do make few parts responsive and few sections are not that responsive. So you can check this, check your web page in this free Google tool. Third is complex website structure. Again, it is one of the common mistakes people do. They tend to have such a complex structure that you have a home page, then you have a category page, then you have multiple subcategories, then you have the pages which are your products which are mapped into your multiple subcategories, or even worse, they will tend to have even more complex structure for your website. So now you have to understand that Google works on a link equity uh, format. So but your domain, the home page is actually going to get the largest domain equity, link equity, I'll say. Then the all the linked pages, or the uh, pages which are the Google crawler can browse and index, are going to get the next set of link equity, and so on. So you should ideally have a very simple and a clean structure. Just the home page, the top and category pages, a single subcategory page if it is relevant for your users, then the products which are mapped into your uh, subcategories and categories. Don't go beyond level 1 subcategories, because definitely it's going to bleed you out. It's not going to help you to that extent. Try to have a single subcategory structure or a single category structure. That is going to help you out. If you are starting up and you have a very small set of products, I will definitely suggest to have a simple structure of homepage, category, and products. Don't even go for a subcategory structure. This kind of technical structure is very important, because Google works on link crawling, and once that structure is simple enough for the Google crawler to crawl, your website is the web pages is going to rank much faster than you anticipate. So that is one of the most important parameters from the technical perspective to do, and the biggest mistakes which people do. Also, I have seen in cases of Shopify stores, majority of the time people make certain collections based on, say, some festival or something, and they don't map it to their links website architecture. So what happens is that those are pages becomes orphan pages. Orphan pages are those pages which are not crawlable by Google, and we don't want that. So make sure each and every page can be browsed from your home page. It has links by which a user and the Google crawler can traverse to your page. Don't expect that user will going to know that page and it will come directly. No, it doesn't happen like that. So you have to have a very simple structure yet very effective, which maps all your web pages into one. Now, fourth common mistake which people do and you should avoid is they have lack of internal backlinks. Again, coming to our website structure, internal backlink also tells user that these are the most relevant pages for a particular anchor text. So when you pass a link from your home page to your category page, you are essentially telling that, say you are dealing in electronics, you are selling, say, wireless neckbands. So you have a home page, then you are telling that this is the wireless headphones, these are wired headphones, these are true wireless series. So those wireless, when you say wireless headphones, you are essentially telling user that this is the anchor text wireless headphones and this is the link. So you have to make sure that you have those internal links which clearly have anchor text which are relevant for you to rank in your Google rankings for the search queries, and you have those pages on your website. So you give the anchor text and you give the link. One of the most popular strategies you might have seen on multiple e-commerce sites is that when you scroll their homepage, you will see in the below you have a lot of popular search queries or search term they say, and they link it back to the various collections or pages. So this is essentially a way of telling Google that these are the search queries, these are the pages we have, and they try to rank for those popular search queries. Another important way of doing is by completing a buyer journey perspective from the content. You make those relevant content pieces and you link your categories or your products in your blog post, and you pass those anchor tags. Google works on a mechanism of backlinks or the internal links it has. Be it internal or external, both links are relevant for your uh, search query to rank, and that is why working on internal backlinks is so important. Fifth part, or the fifth point, I'll say that one of the again the most common mistakes, they don't make proper use of structured data. When I say structured data, it means you essentially tell a Google, look, this is a web page and this belongs to this particular structured data type category. Like for e-commerce, product is one of those important. For books, specifically for books and restaurants, we have a different data types. For blogs, we have article, and we have also tons of other structured data types which are quite helpful for your web page to rank, like FAQ schema, QA schema, how to schema. So when you pass those schemas onto your web pages, it tells Google, okay, this particular page is for FAQ section and will have those relevant queries which a user is looking. And the probability is that those search queries or those question answers you mentioned in your FAQ page might rank in the Google feature snippets. So you should have those particular schemas in the most relevant pages onto on your pages, and the probability of getting the impressions and the clicks will be very high, specifically because you are more likely to get into feature snippets, knowledge graphs people also know, and that can trigger a lot of good search traffic to your website. Then sixth point, use of stock images. Come on guys, we are living in this 2022 era, and you expect that Google will not detect that you are using these stock images from different sites like Pixels, Pixabay, or a lot of other websites. Don't use those stock images. Get yourself your products, your offers, your service, your set of images, the original images you want to showcase. If you don't want to go for any kind of professional shoot or something, that is absolutely fine. Pick any good smartphone, shoot your products on that, or using that, or for your office or something, and do a normal editing. That is fine. Google want to see that you have the original images, which actually helps user to see that these are the actual set of images. So even if you don't have a very professional edits, original photos which are edited so that user experience is better, is perfectly fine. Don't rush for that you need a proper shoot or something, then only you are going to change your set of images, but don't use those stock images. Stock images are essentially we use for making social media banners or creatives, but they should not be used as a core web asset for your website. These images will help you in Google searches, in Google voice searches. So make sure you have those original images and you are passing the image alt text tags properly. Then the seventh biggest mistake I'll say is that missing out on quality content. So when I say missing out on quality content, that for e-commerce sellers, it means that your product descriptions, the images, whole PDP page is missing that content which is relevant for the user. You are not explaining your product properly. Many of the sellers have just habit of writing few bullet points for their products, which is not good enough. You have to be as descriptive as you can be. Don't think like what the description you put on the marketplaces will be going to be same relevant for your website. No, marketplaces have those tons of organic inorganic traffic both which they can cash out, but you are relying on the organic traffic. and for that your product should stand out. So the description along with the quality images which are showing the how to use a product, how the product looks, all should be there. If you can embed the videos, that will also be very very good. But make sure that we have those set of images, uh, set of content which can actually help a user. If it helps a user, it is definitely going to help the Google as well. Now the eighth, one of the most common mistakes I have seen is that people say they never did an off-page SEO. Now you cannot say that you will not going to promote your products to get those quality backlinks. Off-page SEO essentially relies on acquiring backlinks, good quality backlinks from different websites and for the relevant anchor text. And it essentially tells a user that okay, I have a website and these are the 10 different sites which are talking about my brand or about my products. So it tells the Google that your website is credible. And though Google says that backlink is it's officially not a ranking factor, but there are tons of studies which have shown your probability of getting up in the rankings for a particular search queries defines prominently on the backlinks and the referring domains you have. So you just don't need the quantity of backlinks, but you need quality of backlinks and the quantity of referring domains as well. So focus on how you can promote your brand, promote your products, and you can acquire those. It can be that you do a good organic your own research study, you are doing directory submissions, which I don't recommend. You are promoting your products, you are promoting about your products or your ideology, about your brand, or you're participating in important discussions on Quora, Reddit, different forums. You are doing guest posting, you are doing blogger outreach. There are tons of ways of doing it, and this is the most critical part of acquiring backlinks, which is relevant and which is going to, what I'll say, propel your organic search rankings. Ninth, which is again the most relevant for the e-commerce sellers, and they majorly do, they have not synced their products to Google Merchant Center. So what Google Merchant Center helps? Google Merchant Center helps you to sync your products from your any WooCommerce store or Shopify store to the Google Merchant Center, which can essentially show in the search results which are essentially related to shopping queries or the commercial queries, and your products will be going to show on that. Even if you want to run smart shopping ads, your product should be synced to Google Merchant Center. Google Merchant Center can give you again a ton of traffic, and you should focus on doing it, and it is pretty much very easy. You can just integrate the feeds and it's going to give you a lot of good traffic. 10th, again, what I say is the common mistake which a lot of e-commerce sellers and even a lot of service players doesn't do is that they don't use maximum from their Google business profile or Google My Business, which it was earlier used to say. So what I means is that Google business profile tells you that this is a particular location on which your business is there, your premises are there, and you are offering the products or services from that particular location. So first, your category selection for your product and services should be very relevant. Then you have the options again to A, link your products, B, you can put the post about your brand or your products, and you can even put the offers as well. And the benefit is that you are going to get a local search pack rankings to be improved. You are more likely to be shown in the Google map results, Google local searches, and you are going to get the Google website clicks, the cost, which is quite relevant to even push your search results way ahead, and you are going to get the targeted user which you are missing. So do focus on your Google business profile. Work at least, what I suggest is do at least posting at least once a week to keep your business profile refreshed, and try to do smaller, shorter videos on your Google business profile as well. Hashtags doesn't work on Google business profile, so don't worry about that. Simply post about what new you have, what products you have, put their pictures or videos and put the content over it, and you're good to go. So I believe, so this was the collection of the top 10 mistakes we should avoid for powerful SEO in 2022. I hope you like this video. Do subscribe and share.